We have started a second Ptolus campaign. Technically, it's 3. I'll talk about that in a second. But really, the new campaign is going to be called Ugly Inc. or Ugly Incorporated. I did not saddle them with that moniker. They chose that name, and I'll tell you why in just a second. When I first started running a Ptolus campaign, it was in 2017. It was just a duet campaign with a user called Lost Soul. If you want to meet him, you can go back and watch the recap video we did about that huge final ritual fight. Biggest, most complicated thing I've ever run in my life. And we did a recap video. So he was the original player. It was just a duet campaign with Vo Cath, an adopted member of the Cath noble family. We later added Talon, my DMPC Beli, then the Dragonborn Barash, the Elf Deacon, and then Julia. We started out, it was just the two of us. So I kind of played Talon a little bit. I played Beli myself. He played Vo, and then he also played Barash, Julia, and Deacon. Later, we gained 3 fantastic players, and we have become a wonderful group. I know all of you know the experience of finally finding that awesome gaming group, and that's what we have become. And they are just making some of the most awesome stuff ever. Well, the new campaign is Ugly Inc., and it's going to be different than the last campaign that really any campaign that I've ever run. I'm a little like R.A. Salvatore in this and only this aspect, in that I can't kill characters. I've had a really hard time. I have never once killed a player character in a campaign that they stayed dead. They were always resurrected or whatever. I have never, and I absolutely will never kill an actual player. That's a felony. Sorry. Anyway, so I've never killed off a character before, and when we started Ugly Inc., I told them I wanted each of them to create 2 PCs because I wanted to kill at least one of them. And so we're going to see how that changes the dynamic, how it changes the feel. And I wanted my players to go into this knowing that there was a very real possibility one of them was going to die and die permanently. With the calling, that's what we call the Vo campaign with everybody else, we went into that knowing that we had zero intention of them ever dying permanently. We might do other stuff to them, never know what's up for that, but the purpose being we have never, none of us, I am the youngest of those players as the narrator, and we have all been playing for more than 20 years. None of us have ever had the opportunity to run a campaign and be in a campaign that goes beyond 20th level, and I have every intention of doing that with the Vo and calling campaign. We want to go through Gothgamel, we want to go through Jabal Shamar, and we want to do some really big stuff in Ptolus with those characters. So, like Salvatore, who can't kill Jurist, and Caddy Bree and Wolfgar and all the other awesome people, we said they're not going to die. They are protected, and we're going to go on to epic things with them. With Ugly Inc., it's different. It's going to be grittier, and somebody is going to die. This channel and my website did not exist when we started that Vo campaign, and so I'm constantly trying to release we've got over 10,000 posts of that calling campaign. I'm trying to release those on the website. There's a link down below. It's called the Vo campaign notes, and you can read through as many of those as you want. I'm trying to do Tales Under the Spire, where I actually read those posts to you folks. It has taken a lot more energy and work than I thought it was going to actually make those videos. But if you want to listen to that, I think I've released 7 or 8 of those so far. So if you don't want to actually read them, you can listen to me if my voice doesn't annoy you any more than it already does. So the Ugly Inc. campaign is going to be running through the Shackled City Adventure campaign. It was originally written by Paizo for D&D 3.5. It has got release updates on Drive-Thru-RPG GM's Guild, where they've done the conversion over to 5th edition. So if you're playing 5th edition, you can do that. If you're playing Pathfinder 1st edition or D&D 3.5, you're in the minority like us, but that content already exists. I am releasing all of that content with guides to show you exactly how you can take what should be the city of Cauldron and shoehorn those campaign adventures into Ptolus. It's not terribly hard because Cauldron's a big city, Ptolus is a big city, so there's just a little bit of tweaking and you can put that together. Ugly Inc. comes from the name that they are all monstrous races. There's one that's technically a human, but he has a dark secret that you'll have to find out later. They're half-orcs. There's 2 of them that are actually bird-like creatures. Then we've also got a Ganassi and then like a lizard-like creature. So none of them are traditional in that essence, but that works perfect in Ptolus, right? Anything can work in Ptolus because it's all weird there. And that's what they decided to do. They wanted to play those non-traditional characters. No elves, no dwarves, no technical humans, whatever. We'll see about that. So we started out that campaign with this in mind. What we have done is we put on pause the calling campaign. We're technically still playing it, but they've all moved to downtime activities. This is one of the reasons that it's so important to track time in Ptolus. If you haven't watched that video, watch it after this one. We had the end of the final resolution fight, the big Night of Dissolution ending, and we shut off magic for 3 days. What we did is 6 months after that is when Ugly Ink starts. So they'll probably eventually catch up, and that'll be kind of fun to see what happens with all these characters doing the different things in the city, one place, all with overlapping timelines. But hopefully it'll be a little bit until we get to that. I'll do another video to tell you about the downtime activities. This has already gone longer than I want. I'm also really excited to say, as part of the Ugly Ink campaign, that third campaign, that's four. Hang on. That third campaign is actually going to be my currently 11-year-old son. He has put together a character called Sir Trots. He is not noble at all. It's just a fun moniker for him. And that is a satyr character. And I'll be doing a DMPC in there as well. There's going to be a link down below to the Ugly Ink campaign notes. I want to release much more frequently the content as we do that. This channel, the website, did not exist when we started the calling campaign. So I'm trying to constantly release those things so that you guys can catch up. And with Ugly Ink, I want to release that consistently so you guys can actually follow along with the story, see what's going on, just work with us as it evolves, and give us your feedback and interest and stuff like that, and try to keep up with that in these videos. My son is playing in a play-by-post campaign with me, and he is really, really excited to do this. He's young, and so we all started D&D. I did not start at 11, so I'm really excited to see how that plays out, and I'll hopefully get to share that with you guys as well for how do you run Dungeons & Dragons for younger kids. And we are both really, really excited about that. So follow along, like, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff that every other person tells you to. I don't need to. If you haven't joined our Discord channel, please do that. I always share the videos in there so that you can find those if you don't get the alerts on YouTube. And there's just some awesome discussion in there. We're at almost 300 people in there now. And just people constantly bouncing ideas off of each other. You can't find something in the book. You're curious what to do about something, how to plug them together. The discourse has been absolutely phenomenal in there. So if you're not in there and you're running or playing in Ptolus, please check that out. No pressure, but if you want to support me on Patreon so I can make more videos like this, fully support that. It just makes you the coolest person in the world. Absolutely no pressure, and I'm not releasing any Patreon-only content at this time so that I can stay in line with Monte Cook Games' fantastic fan use policy, one of the best in the industry, and I do not want to upset them because they made something awesome, and they let this channel and my website exist. Until next time, stay out of the shadow of the spire, and I hope to see you around Ptolus.